hope you're all doing well. Welcome to today's class. Thank you for the lovely messages and all the donations that we've been kindly been given. We really do appreciate that. So the chakra that we're looking at for today's class is the fourth one, and it's the Heart Chakra, also known as Anahata. And the word Anahata, it literally means unstruck. So it's really, this one is it's the centre of our being. You've got 3 chakras that lie below and the 3 chakras that lie above, and this one is in the centre of all those. So for today's practice, we will need a belt if you've got one, or something that you can use as a belt. If you've got a block to sit on, then you can grab that, and also a blanket would be really handy as well. So once you've got everything that you need, we'll start off lying down in your supine position. So just moving everything out of the way and just allowing yourself to come all the way down to the floor. And we're either going to keep the legs bent, or we can allow your legs to lengthen out if that feels okay for your back to do so. And just take a moment to let your body soften and relax. Letting the arms rest, letting the fingers just soften. Just beginning to allow the eyes to close. And just taking your attention inwards. So just starting to notice how we're feeling. Just be aware of maybe just how the body is feeling right now without judging. Just notice what you're feeling like. And then we're just going to allow our hands to lift, and we're going to take the hands one on top of the other into the centre of our chest. So you might like to take the right hand first of all and your left hand on top. And let your shoulders relax, let the arms soften, let the back relax. And just take a moment to bring the focus into that point where your hands are right now. So you might become very aware of your heartbeat from here. Just start to maybe tune in with that rhythm of your own heartbeat. Start to be aware of the breath that you're feeling around here. And you don't need to change it in any way first of all. Just start to be aware of your own rhythm of breath and the natural rise and fall of that breath from here. We're just starting to settle into this area. So the name gives it away, the heart chakra. It lies at the heart. And the element that resonates with this place, the element that is, it's air. So it relates a lot to breathing and expansion and feeling space around this heart area. So now begin to, just keep the hands here, begin to breathe nice and slow and gentle in and out through the nose. And as you do this breath, still be aware of this heart centre. So start to feel that you're directing some breath into this heart space area. And that's what you want to feel, some expansion. And as you continue to breathe over the next few moments, just see if you could gently expand that breath out a little bit more. So you might even start to feel that you're breathing into the whole of the front of the chest. Starting to expand that breath into the sides of the body. And then even think about the back of the heart. The back of the heart is very important as well. So as we breathe, think about the back of the heart as we take some focus, some expansion into this space around here. I'm going to spend just a few more moments here. And if it works, if it resonates, you're just going to set yourself an intention for the practice today. Something maybe quite simple that relates to the heart centre. So it relates a lot to love and compassion that we have for ourselves. But also in finding that, we feel this love and compassion towards others. So something very simple, it might be just having love and compassion for yourself in the practice today. It might be connecting to a higher love, something that goes a lot higher than yourself. It might just be being kind to yourself. It might be by really just working with the breath and expansion today. Once you've found something that resonates with you, just silently say it to yourself and let that absorb into your entire being. And then when you're ready, slowly just release the hands down by the sides of the body. Pause there for a moment. And then from here, we're going to give a lovely stretch out. So we're going to raise the arms, we're going to lift them, we're going to take them up and over the head. And you can have the palms facing in towards each other. Really open out your fingers today. Really expand out, let your chest and your heart expand out a little bit more. If your legs are extended, you might like to draw your toes gently up towards the sky. Give the legs a good stretch, spreading the toes. And think about this expansion. That's what you want to feel in the class today, expansion. And that really is what love is as well. Love is about expanding out. It's not unlimited. It's not limited. It's not limited. It's unlimited. This love, this universal love that we have. So slowly let your arms release down by the sides of the body and just begin to bend the legs, and we'll hug the knees in towards the chest. Just give a nice release into the back by letting your back press in towards the earth. Just gently releasing, rocking from side to side from here. Going to just work with a couple of postures on the floor. So we'll work into our bridge and we'll do it lifting up with the breath today. So our floating bridge. So feet are on the floor, hip distance apart, arms are down by the sides of the body. Press into the feet, slowly engage the pelvic muscles. And then inhale, lift your spine away from the floor and allow your arms to lift up behind you. And then breathing out, slowly release the spine down, release the arms down by the sides of the body. It's going to work this way a couple more times. Inhale to lift. Let the arms lift. Feel that expansion of the breath and the chest. Breathing out, releasing, letting the arms come down by the sides of the body. So 2 more like this. Inhale to lift. Be aware of this feeling of expansion with that breath. And breathing out, releasing, letting your spine come down, letting the arms come down. Last one, we're going to hold it here for a few extra breaths. So lifting up. If you do need extra support for the back, just bring the arms down by the sides of the body. But if you feel it's okay to do so, arms behind, back of the hands to the floor. Take the arms a little bit wider, V-shape, rather than shoulder width apart, just so you can soften a bit more into the shoulders. At the back of the hands, just feel contact with whatever's touching the earth. Just take a few moments to breathe. Try and use your expansive breath from here. And then breathing out, slowly releasing down. Let your arms come all the way down. Hugging the knees all the way in towards the chest. Nice release for the back now would be to come to a couple of twists. So we're going to extend the arms out, shoulder height, or cactus arms if it's better for the space. Feet to the floor for the first one. As you breathe out, knees drop to the right, head slowly turns towards the left. And think about your expansive breath again around your chest area. Feel it around your shoulders. Even think about your hands. So everything, all these things are connected to the Anahata Heart Chakra. It's your chest, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and your back, especially your thoracic spine. Slowly come back with your head and the knees. Inhale, and as you breathe out, knees drop to the left and your head slowly turns to the right. Just hold it there, a few more breaths. Keep softening, releasing. Try and connect to this expansive breath that you can feel in your practice today. Breathing out, come back to the centre with the head and the knees. We'll go one more each side. If your back feels okay to do so, lifting the legs this time, right angle. And as you breathe out, we'll go over towards that right side first. Slowly allow your head to turn towards that left. And as we're in this second twist, we might think about the colour that resonates with the heart chakra, and that is emerald green. It can also be pink, so just see what's going to be good for you. I always go with green, and you might picture this emerald green in your chest just expanding out as you do these postures. Breathing out, head comes back, knees come back to the centre. Last time, inhale, and as we breathe out, knees to that left side, head slowly turns towards that right side. Maybe in your mind's eye, picturing that really bright light, whether it's that emerald green or if you've gone for that pink. Allow it to start to feel the whole of the chest expanding out. And then breathing out, bring your head, bring the knees back, hug the knees in. Have a quick release off the back, rocking from side to side, starting to soothe out your spine. And then slowly roll over to one side and then coming all the way back to a nice seated position. So if cross-legged works, you can sit cross-legged for a moment and just sit up nice and tall from here. So we're going to start off this seated bit with lots of lovely heart-opening work, shoulder work, arm work. For the last few weeks, I've really been working in my own practice to see what is going to start to just move about and let us connect to this energy in the heart centre. So a lot of people always think maybe it's always lots and lots of back bends, but it's not always the case. It's a lot of, as well, shoulder, heart opening work that helps to get into just all that lovely area. So we'll start off with a nice side bend stretch. So we'll take our right hand out to the side. So if you can for this one, take your hand a little bit further out than you normally would. And then you're going to allow yourself to lift your left arm up. If it's an option, you can come down onto the forearm from here and you want to press back into that left sit bone. So if it feels okay, you can take that arm up and over. You might hold it there for a few breaths. And then pressing into that hand, we'll lift that forearm away. If you can this time, try to spiral more of your chest up. So you're turning a bit more of your chest up towards the sky. Now, you haven't got to look up if it's going to hurt the head. Just always think what's good for the neck. You can always look down. And think about expanding into the sides of that chest, that side body. And then come back to the centre. Just take a moment to have a nice stretch. And then we'll repeat the same on the other side. So nice and slow as we move through these movements. Left hand comes down and then you can take that left hand out a little bit further this time. Lift up that arm. Take a moment to just stretch up into that arm. Spread the fingers. And then if it works, we're going to drop down onto the forearm. We're going to still press back into that right sit bone. We can take that arm up and over. You can hold it there. Few breaths. Hopefully you're feeling a really nice stretch on that side body. And then pressing up onto that hand from here. Be careful of your back from here, but if it's an action that feels good, we might encourage our chest to start to spiral a little bit more towards the sky. So we've got this lovely feeling of expansion and opening up. And then we'll use the inhale to come all the way back to the centre, bringing the palms together, and then breathing out, bringing the hands down towards the chest. So at any point, you can move your legs if you're not in a comfortable position. Make sure for the next one that you've got enough room to reach the arms out from here. And we're going to think about taking slower, fuller, expansive breaths, really to work into that area. So using that element air. So for this, the hands are going to come in towards the chest from here. So we take an inhale, and as we do so, we open out the arms to the front. We're still inhaling as we open out the arms to the side. And if possible, we turn our thumbs so our thumbs start to point to the back of the room. And then as we breathe out, we bring the hands back to the front and back in towards the heart. We're going to continue to do that. Inhaling forward, opening up shoulder height, thumbs start to point back. And then breathing out, hands come forward together and back in towards the chest. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale forward, opening up, thumbs start to point back. And then breathing out, hands forward, hands back in towards the chest. Inhale forward, opening up shoulder height, thumbs point back. And then breathing out forward, back in towards the chest. We'll do this last one. Inhale forward, still inhaling as we open up, thumbs point back. And then breathing out, hands forward, hands in towards the chest. And for a moment, we'll come back to that, like we did lying down, where we place one hand on top of the other into the chest. You can have left hand first of all, and then your right hand on top. Let the eyes close and just connect to what you're feeling around this area. So there's some really nice movements as well. That's what I've really been enjoying in my practice, where we start to work a little bit more into the back of the chest, back of the heart. And it's a really nice feeling that I've been experiencing, where it feels like something is just pushing through, opening up into the front of the chest. So it could be things like emotions that we've been holding back, that we don't want to show. A lot of people, we round over and we guard ourselves in the front of the chest, and a lot of these things move to the back of the chest. So see if you might feel these as well, this feeling of pushing forward into the chest. So we're going to release the arms from here. We're going to come into our eagle arms movement. So we're going to take the arms out in front. We're going to take the right arm is going to go underneath your left arm from here. So you might be bringing your back of the hands together. You might be bringing the palms together. If this is not possible, then take your hands onto your shoulders from here. And then without lifting up the elbows any higher, all you're going to think about is, if you've got your fingers this way, think about lengthening your fingers up towards the sky. So we're not lifting, we're more lengthening. And think about the back of the heart. And what you want to try and do is try and let it expand out, so you feel a really lovely length around your upper back from here. And then we're just going to start to make some very small circles. Just go one direction first of all, and then move in circles in the other direction from here. And coming back to the centre. And a really nice stretch from here would be to start to move your arms over. Let me think of the which way we're going, and it'll be your right side from here. So you get a really, really just nice stretch in that upper back from here. And then slowly releasing from here. And you're going to allow yourself to open out the arms for a moment. And then coming back to the centre. And we'll repeat the same on the other side. So this time it's going to be your left arm moves underneath the right. And finding that position that works, or fingers on the shoulders, that's fine as well. And if you've got your fingers together, you can think about lifting up, lengthening your fingers. So what you want to try and do is create a really nice expansion in your upper back. So you might start to feel that something's just pushing through in your chest from here. And you can still do it if you've got your arms here. Think about maybe just expanding, lengthening more into that upper back. So we're going to do a few circles with your elbows from here. And then we've got to be too big, just to start to get that energy moving into the back of the body. And circling out in that other direction from here. And then this time we're going to start to move your arms over towards that right side from here. Take a few nice easy breaths. And then slowly allowing yourself to come back to the centre. Open out the arms. Have a really nice stretch with the arms from here. Bringing the palms up and above the head. Take a really nice in-breath. And as you breathe out, slowly releasing your hands down towards the chest. Have a couple of shoulder rolls if you're feeling it around your shoulders at the moment. And shoulder rolls forward. So hopefully you feel a bit warm in that area. We're going to open out the legs from here. So we're going to come into a bit of a teepee shape with the legs. The legs are bent from here. We're going to bring our hands behind us. So our fingers are going to be pointing away. So you can bring the feet and the knees together. And what you're going to think about doing from here is it's a movement where you're going to, don't think so much about the back. You want to be lifting up your chest. So you can explore it by moving the hands a little bit closer together from here, if that does work. And then if you're not feeling much, a nice way to work into it is lift the bottom, shuffle it forward slightly, and then think about lifting the chest. So you might do that a couple of times until you find that movement where you can get right into the chest. So you might like to visualise that colour from here, that really nice colour, maybe that emerald green that's really opening up, swirling in the chest, moving into any tight spots, softening. Think about using that breath to soften. And again, a nice one where it feels like you're moving from the upper back, pushing forward into the chest of it, and then slowly releasing from here. Hopefully that feels good. It's great on your shoulders as well if you've got tight shoulders. So you're going to roll yourself over from here and you're going to come all the way back to a nice all fours position. Nice spread hands, knees underneath the hips. We're going to do our cat stretches from here. You're going to think about this time moving from the heart and softening from the heart. So inhale, we start to lift. Think about your chest lifting. You can look up if it feels good. And then breathing out, rounding over, drawing to the navel. We're gazing back through the legs. 2 more. Inhale, think about how that chest can move through and shoulders can release. And then breathing out, rounding over, gazing back through the legs, pushing through to that upper back. Last one. Inhale to lift from here. And exhale to round over. And then come back to the all fours. We're going to do a couple more of those cat stretches, but this time we're going to move down to our forearms. So it might feel a little bit different. So you can inhale from the tailbone lifts to the front of the body and the head. You might not lift it too much this time. And then breathing out, rounding over, gazing back through the legs. So inhale, tailbone lifts and the chest and the heart that starts to send forwards. And then breathing out, rounding over, gazing back through the legs. We'll do one more. Inhale, so your tailbone lifts, front of the body and your head lifts. And last time to round over, and then you're coming back to that all fours position from here. Take a moment just to reset the hands. So your hands are underneath the shoulders, and then we'll come up into our downward dog. So please feel free to use the wall if you need to, or your half version or your puppy pose. Going to tuck the toes under, lifting up, start to come up onto the toes for a nice bit of a stretch. We can start to take some weight back towards the heels from here. If you're tight in the legs, then take a few moments to gently walk out through the legs, stretching those muscles, and then settling into your downward dog position. And for the last couple of breaths, we're going to start to bend the legs a little bit more from here. We're going to think about just getting a really nice expansion in the back part of the body, so along the spine, and think about how your chest can just expand a little bit more. And then we'll come down from here, so come back down to the knees, release the feet. You can move your hands forward, you can bend the arms, and we'll come all the way down to the floor from here. So So we're going to work into a few back bends from here. So either Sphinx, or if you're able to do Cobra, let your hands move underneath the shoulders. You're going to look down from here. So we're going to inhale, we're going to start to come up. So if you're doing Cobra, make it a baby one. So let your elbows point back. Think about this nice movement around your chest and strengthening into the back. And then if it feels okay, you can press into the arms. You can lift up. If you're in your Sphinx, then holding that Sphinx, if it works for you, just a little bit longer. Sending your chest through. Visualize that emerald green light expanding out, sending out all this love and our connection to everything around us. And then tucking the chin in, slowly lowering all the way back down. We're going to continue while we're down to do a few back bends, more back bends. So locust pose, but a bit of a variation on it. So you can keep your legs a little way apart from here. And the arms are going to come out from here. And you're going to take them a bit wider than shoulder width apart. And you're going to look down. So as we inhale, we're going to lift your head, chest, and let your right arm and your left leg lift. And then breathing out, lower down. Inhale, head, chest, right leg, left arm lift. So opposite arm, opposite leg, and lower back. We'll continue to do a couple more of these. Inhale, head, chest, right arm, left leg lifts. Exhale, lower back. Last one. Inhale, head, chest, right leg, left arm lifts. And then lower back. Hands can come back underneath the shoulders so we can push ourselves back to the all fours position. Nice spread hands from here. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're going to press back again into our downward dog position. Bring some weight back towards the heels. Take a moment to just reach from here. We're going to bend our right leg from here. We're going to lengthen our right leg away from us. We're going to bend that right leg and we're going to step that right foot through for a low lunge, or you can swap it for your warrior position. Back knee comes down, and if you know that you need a bell for your cow face arms, you can take that ready now. We're going to start to lift up from here, so please pad up your back knee if you need to. Going to spend just a moment to sink a little bit of weight down from here. Still draw up with the navel and still lengthen your tailbone. You can take a nice moment to lift the arms, and you want to think about sending all this energy into the chest and the fingers. Think about your connection to everything around you. So when we think about working with the Anahata, the Heart Chakra, it's about connecting more to love, so releasing any fears that you might have right now. You might even come back to your intention while you're here. Slowly release the arms. We'll continue to work into our cow face arms. So if you need a bell, that can be placed in the left arm, and that's going to extend up. Your right arm's going to come behind you. Going to drop that top arm back, either catching hold of the bell or catching hold of the fingers. You can think about lifting that top elbow up a bit more. You can come into a bit of a back bend as you start to open up that chest. A few lovely breaths from here. And then slowly releasing. Just put the belt down for now. Hands either side of the foot. Come back to the all fours. We'll tuck the toes under. We'll lift up into our downward dog pose again for a few breaths. Just think about how we can let the chest, the heart just soften a bit from here. The left leg's going to extend this time and have a good stretch out through that leg. We're going to bend that left leg and we're going to step it in between your hands for your low lunge, or swap it for your warrior position. Soften that back knee down, release that front foot. Pad it if you need to. You're going to start to calm up from here, so lifting up. You can raise the arms, and if it's okay, softening a bit more, releasing in a little bit lower down towards the earth. You can take your arms into a nice V shape. And then we'll work that cow face arms. So we're going to take the belt, if you need it, into that right arm. You can have a nice stretch up with that arm. You drop that top arm back, that right arm comes round, and you're either reaching hold of the belt or you're reaching your fingers. And you could start to really open up your chest from here, elbow moves back. Think about space as you breathe, an expansion into that heart centre area. Couple more breaths if you're still in that posture. And then slowly release your belt. You can take the hands back. You can take that knee back from here. We're going to, let me just move my belt out of the way. We're going to come back into your downward dog position. So moving back into downward dog. And in a few breaths, taking some weight back towards the heels. And then we'll move up to standing. So softening the knees. Starting to walk the feet towards the hands. Hands are going to come to the hips. And then we'll start to lift all the way up from here. We're going to just pause for a moment and we're going to move straight into some forward folds. Think about your heart that's just expanding and softening every time that you lift. Expansion, softening every time that you lower. So the feet can be a few inches apart. You're going to inhale, we're going to raise the arms. You can bring them together if it works and look up. Breathing out, softening the knees, hinging forward, coming into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, hands move to the shins as we lift up halfway, heart opens. And exhale, we'll soften and fold. Soft knees, arms out to the side as we inhale, lifting up. Feel how that heart lifts from here, you can look up. And exhale, hands back towards the chest. We'll move into one more. So inhale, arms lift. Think about how the heart lifts from here, baby back bends. Exhale, soften the knees, hinging forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale for our halfway lift. Let your chest start to expand. And exhale, feel that softness of the heart as we release. Soft knees as we inhale to lift the arms all the way up. You can do your baby back bend if it works. And exhale, hands back down towards the chest. We're going to come into one more forward fold. This time we're going to work it with clasp arms. So with the fingers clasped. If you need a belt, if you've got tight shoulders, absolutely use a belt, that's fine. So interlock the fingers. This is one that I've been working on for the last few weeks and it's been feeling so good. So you're going to roll your shoulders back if it feels good. And before we even move into that forward fold, you're just going to hold it here and just see what it feels like for you. How does it feel like to be able to expand, open up our heart like this? Are you aware of just this feeling of expansion? You might feel tingling here. So if it does work for you, I've been working with this one as well, that rather than just having my heels of my hands apart, I start to bring the heels of my hands so they press in towards each other. And it's that action where I feel that it's this squeezing in the upper back that's sending something through to the chest. So now we can soften to come forward. So knees soften. We start to come forward into our forward fold. At any point, if you need to release the arms, you can do that, that's fine. And we're starting to move over. You might even just gently sway a bit from just side to side, just to release your shoulders a little bit more and then just settle into that forward fold. Press into the feet, slowly start to lift up. If you're still there, if it feels okay with the hands where they are, hold it there for a few more moments. Enjoy this feeling of sending your chest through. Imagine that brilliant emerald green light just shining through, connecting to the rest of the world. And then soften and release. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as me. Shoulders nice and relaxed. Just give them a little bit of a release from here and drawing your shoulders forward. So we're going to do a really nice other movement from here to work with the breath, but also start to move into this feeling around your back and your shoulders from here. So what you can do is your feet can be hip distance apart from here, feet facing forward. And then what you're going to do is your fingers, your hands, fingers going to come to the tops of the shoulders. And if at all possible, yeah, make sure I go the right way, fingers are pointing forward and your thumbs pointing back. If that's not possible, you could just put them on there. That's absolutely fine as well. And then we don't want to lift the elbows too high. It's all going to stay at shoulder height. So we're going to do a movement where when we open in this position, it's going to be an inhale. And then we exhale, we draw the elbows together and we round over slightly from here. We can gaze down towards the feet. So it's an inhale to lift and an exhale to round over. And we start to tune it in with the breath. So it's going to be all in and out of the nose. So it's a... So we're going to do quite a few of these. If you do need to stop, that's fine. But if you can keep with the flow of this breath, using that inhale to open up, exhale to round over. I'll continue just to do a few more. I'm going to do 4 or 5 more. We'll make this your last one. And then slowly release. And all you're going to do is just let the hands now rest down by the sides of the body. So you come into your mountain pose. Let your eyes close. And just simply just go with the feelings, what you're feeling right now. What do you feel right now? Maybe you're aware of some tingling around your chest and the heart area. Maybe you're connecting to this feeling of feeling expansive. Maybe you're connecting to a feeling of love and compassion, not just to yourself, but to everyone around us. Maybe even tapping into the universal love that's around us right now. Take a few nice breaths. And then slowly soften and release. So we're going to come into we've done lots of arm work and back bends, so we're going to come into our dancer pose. So if you're unable, so your dancer pose is the one where you take hold of the foot and you extend out with your arm. If you find it's quite hard to take hold of the foot, the belt will work lovely here where you take it around the front of the foot. You can always take the belt from here and then we can work that as an alternate from here. If you're not going to do that one as well, you can even just work towards lifting the leg today or hovering if you don't want to take it into a back bend from here. So we're going to start off with transferring weight onto your left foot as we bend your right leg, drawing that knee in from here. You're going to take your left hand onto the hip as we draw the knee back. Feel free to use your bell if you need to. We're going to take the arm out. We're going to take chin mudra from here. So the index finger touches the tip of the thumb or slightly underneath. And we're going to work with our breath. So you're going to take an inhale as you press that foot away from you. Think about opening up the chest. And then breathing out, easing back to the centre. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to come through, expanding out into the chest. And exhale, releasing. We'll do 1 more. We'll hold it for a couple breaths longer as we inhale, lift up. If it's okay, hold it there a few breaths. So this mudra as well just symbolises and creates a feeling of peace and harmony with ourselves and with others. And then slowly releasing from here. Well done. Have a shake of the legs if you need to. And then when you're ready, we'll do the same on the other side. So please use your belt if you need to. All the way onto your right foot as we start to lift your left foot from here. We can take your hand onto the front of that foot, right hand onto the hip as we draw the knees together. This might be enough if you want to do your Extending out with the right arm, and we'll do that chin mudra, so index finger joins your tip of the thumb, and we'll work with that breath. So inhale, if it's okay, lift your back knee as the hand presses into the hand, chest lifts, and exhale, lower back down. We'll come up again. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower down. Last one, we'll hold it for a few extra breaths. Inhale to lift. Try and just connect to feelings of peace and love and compassion while we're here. And then slowly releasing down. Lovely. Let your leg release from here. You can place any belts down. We're going to roll ourselves down to the floor. If it's not appropriate to roll down, then bring your hands onto the hips. You can do it lengthen spine. If it's okay, feet hip distance apart. Tucking the chin in, softening the knees, and slowly just allowing this soften to happen. This release of the body as we start to slowly roll down. We're going to bend the legs and we're going to come back to and all fours from here. So last bit of the back bend, we're going to do just a little tiny bit of work into our camel posture. If you can't do it on the knees, you might like to do a little bit of work from standing from here. You can pad the knees if you need to. Knees are hip distance apart. We're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to take our hands so the fingers point behind and they support the back. And then we start to slowly feel the thighs engaging, the bottom engaging as we start to lift our chest up from here. And then we'll come back to the centre. So we'll do a few like that with the breath. So we take a lovely inhale where we lift up from here. And exhale, slowly release. Inhale to lift up from here. Exhale, slowly release. Last one, think about expansion with the chest and the breath as we lift up. Exhale, release. Next bit would be to untuck the toes. We're going to have the hands forward, shoulder height, palms facing. This time you're going to take an inhale from here. As you exhale, you're going to tighten up the thighs as you lean back from here. And then inhale to come back to the centre. So breathing out, easing back. Inhale to come back to the centre. Last one, breathing out, we'll ease back. Come back to the centre. We'll do that one more time. This time we're going to hold it for a little bit longer so you can tuck the toes under. If you're used to doing it with the feet flat, absolutely fine. Fingers point behind. Really think about lifting up your chest as your elbows just gently draw back. This might be enough for you, or we might be able to reach our hands back, taking hold of maybe squeezing the tops of the heels or hands further down. And think about, again, breathing into this lovely expansion. You can take your head back if it's supported by your neck. You're going to slowly think about coming up. So navel draws in. We can use our hands to support the back again as we come up. We're going to slowly release the feet. You're going to widen your knees and just slowly start to take yourself into a lovely child's pose from here. And allowing your head to release. And just letting your chest soften while you're here. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So let your breath be that thing that really softens your chest now. Feeling that you might have shifted a lot of emotions today. You might have connected more to love, not just for yourself, love and compassion, but also for other people, but also tapping into a universal love. Just take a few lovely breaths from here. And then slowly easing yourself up, coming back to either kneeling position, or if you need to cross the legs, that's fine. Easing into a twist, so we're going to twist towards that right side. So you're right shoulder, back of your right shoulder softens. Take a few moments just to feel a nice twist in the back of the body. And then come back to the centre, and we'll find that lovely twist over towards that left side. Take a few moments just to breathe from here. And then slowly come back to the centre. You're going to just take a nice easy cross-legged position from here. And let your hands rest on the knees, but you're going to turn the back of the hands up, and you're going to do that chin mudra that we did in that dancer pose. So index finger touches your thumb, top of the thumb, or you can take it further down. Extend your other arms up and relax your shoulders from here. And allow your eyes to close from here, and just feel the softness around your shoulders. Feel a nice softness around your chest. You've allowed yourself to be open and free today. You might be feeling, connecting to that brilliant emerald green light. You might even feel it swirling around your chest, your heart centre. You may have felt that you've shifted something today, something that you've been holding in. An emotion, something maybe from the past, that through those movements that we've allowed this opening in a safe, loving, kind place. Just tapping into that connection that you have for yourself, love and compassion for yourself. And from that, we feel we can extend that out to love and compassion for other people. Maybe it's people that we know, maybe it's other people that we don't know. And just try and tap into this feeling of love and compassion that's all around us. This universal love that is really at the centre of everything. Just like our heart chakra is at the centre of us. This love, compassion, this universal love is at the heart of everything. Slowly release your fingers, let your legs lengthen, and take a moment to rest. So roll yourself down to the floor from here, and either keeping the legs bent, arms rest down by the sides of the body, or allowing your legs to just gently lengthen out from here. I'm going to just take a moment to let the body soften and just fully absorb what you've done in that practice today. Let it absorb into the body. You may be visualising again that bright light around the chest area, swirling and softening any last parts of resistance or hardness that might be in the chest from maybe protecting ourselves or maybe from being fearful. So let that just soften and let it be filled with a place full of kindness and trust. Allowing yourself to feel very open right now, very open, very expansive to everything that is around us. Allowing us to see maybe the bigger picture. So if you need a few more moments to rest, then just take that rest, that's fine. But if you're ready to move, wriggle fingers, wriggle toes, stretch from here, bend the legs, draw the knees in towards the chest, having a gentle rock from side to side, and then slowly moving yourself up into a lovely seated position from here. And take a moment again to find that chin mudra. So again, that first finger, index finger joins the tip of the thumb or just underneath, fingers expand out. And just let your shoulders just soften and rest from here. Let the eyes close. Just connect to how you're feeling. I'll leave you just with some really nice words, and you've probably heard them maybe in class before. So it goes, Luka Samasta Sukino Uvanto. And what it translates to is, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the actions, words and thoughts of myself contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom of all. Luka Samasta Sukino Uvanto. Slowly release the fingers. Let your hands move on top of your chest, the heart center again. Maybe that right hand comes in and that left hand comes on top. Connect to this very pure place full of love that's always there. Just seal your practice now by bringing your hands together, hands in towards the chest, and take a very soft bow down with the head towards the hands. Let the eyes blink open, and nice and slowly lifting your head, lifting your heart. Namaste. I hope you have a really loving day with all these thoughts that we've created, and please do continue to practice these. Maybe there's certain parts that you resonate with more, so just allow yourself to connect to what feels good. Take care, and I'll see you soon.